Hello, how are you? Today I've prepared some practical tips for you to start right away to reduce visceral fat, the fat around your belly. This type of fat is very dangerous. It's not just bad from an aesthetic point of view because it bothers people a lot and makes them feel more self-conscious, but beyond that, it's also very harmful to your health, to your metabolism, to your heart, to diabetes, to high blood pressure. It is very dangerous and should be avoided, reduced as much as you can. You're going to love these tips. Stay with me until the end because you won't want to miss them. If you love tips on nutrition, health, and fitness, you're going to love this channel. So go ahead, subscribe here, and remember to turn on the notification bell to get updates. I have new videos every day, and you won't want to miss them. So let's start talking about abdominal fat, what you need to do over the next 30 days to get good results and reduce it. This is a type of fat that really bothers people from an aesthetic point of view because there are people who no longer want to go to the beach because of belly fat, some don't want to wear tighter clothes or even show their midriff or go shirtless in the case of men because of their stomach. It's really uncomfortable. There's this visual aspect which is definitely very significant, especially as summer approaches and people start wearing more revealing clothes. But beyond that, there's the health issue. We know that this visceral fat is the worst type of fat you can accumulate in your body. Because it is closely linked to metabolic syndrome. It's associated with insulin resistance, with prediabetes type 2, with higher blood pressure, and with increased inflammation in your body. So it's very important to reduce it for your health as well. I'm going to give you some easy tips here that you can start today, which will give you good results in just 30 days. The longer you stick with it, the better your results will be. Always keep that in mind. And the first tip has to do with 3 things you can add to your diet right away during these 30 days. The first thing you should incorporate into your routine is apple cider vinegar. Try to take apple cider vinegar before lunch or before dinner. Usually, 1 tablespoon diluted in a cup of water will help a lot with insulin sensitivity, which will directly affect the issue of abdominal fat. So this is a very interesting point. Another thing is to add at least 1 cup of green tea during the day. You can also have hibiscus tea if you prefer. Both green tea and hibiscus tea have the ability to further stimulate metabolism, increase insulin sensitivity, and are rich in antioxidants. It can be a good option. You can have it at breakfast, or you can drink it right before or right after dinner, whenever you prefer. You can choose either one. It doesn't necessarily have to be both. And the third thing you should add to your daily routine is chia. Chia is a great way to increase the fiber in your diet, add healthy fats, and provide omega-3 precursors that help reduce inflammation in our bodies. When we reduce inflammation, we promote fat loss, including the loss of abdominal fat. The fact that chia contains healthy fats and fiber will also help lower the glycemic index of any meal you add it to. And chia is very versatile. It can be included in breakfast, lunch, snacks, or dinner. You can even spread it out throughout the day. For example, if you decide to consume 1 tablespoon of chia per day in your diet, you can add a little to your breakfast, some to your lunch, on top of your salad, or even in your beans, a bit in your afternoon snack, and some at dinner. You don't need to concentrate it all at one time of day. In fact, the more you spread it out, the more benefits you'll get. Always remember, when we add more fiber, we need to drink more water so that the intestines work well too, which will also help eliminate stool and reduce that bloated, gassy feeling in your belly. Another thing to do during these 30 days, and you can't make any exceptions, is to cut out sugar. That means white sugar, demerara sugar, brown sugar, sweets, processed foods that contain sugar. Anything that contains sugar, you cut out. Sugar is highly pro-inflammatory. It really encourages fat to accumulate in the belly. It's bad for the gut bacteria. It makes you ferment more of what you eat. And as a result, you end up with more gas and a more bloated belly. And besides that, sugar causes a very quick spike in insulin, which will make you feel hungrier and store more fat. So cutting out sugar is super important, but you don't necessarily have to give up sweet flavors. Remember that I have a playlist here on the channel with healthy sugar-free desserts that you can add to your daily routine, so I'll leave it down below in the description for you. During these 30 days, you will also reduce the amount of simple carbohydrates you consume, and preferably only eat carbohydrates with a lower glycemic index. Avoid high glycemic index carbohydrates. So avoid white bread, white pasta, white rice, and all products that contain these, like bread, bakery products, flans, sweet pies. Avoid all of these things. And then you can consume carbohydrates with a lower glycemic index. Prioritize the healthier ones, such as chickpeas, lentils, peas, beans, quinoa. These can be good options for you to add to your daily routine. I have videos here on the channel that talk more about what the glycemic index is. I'll leave them down below for you. as well as one discussing the best carbohydrates to include in your daily routine. So this video doesn't get too long. I'll leave those links below in case you need any additional information. Also, be careful with the amount of carbohydrates you consume on a daily basis, because we know that the quantity of carbohydrates is closely related, as I mentioned, to insulin secretion. And if you consume a lot of carbohydrates, even if they're lower glycemic index carbs, you can still have insulin spikes. So control the amount and focus more on including other nutrients on your plate. Plenty of vegetables, lots of legumes, lower glycemic index fruits, and protein to balance your meal, along with healthy fats as well. To help you with this, I'm going to leave 2 playlists down below. One with healthy low-carb recipes for weight loss, which already have a controlled amount of carbohydrates and good carbs when they are included. And another one with low-carb bread recipes, because I know that bread is the hardest thing to give up in daily life, so both playlists will be down below in the description. Another thing you should do is add protein to every meal throughout your day. It's not about eating more protein than you should, but rather about spreading your protein intake across all your meals. Because when we consume a good amount of protein, we are better able to regulate hunger hormones, eating less of other foods, and we also improve the modulation of the insulin response, since the glycemic index decreases. So, adding protein to your breakfast, for example, eggs or yogurt, can be a good option for you. At lunch and dinner, it's always easier. Chicken, fish, beans, and some vegetables are already richer in protein, such as chickpeas and lentils, so it's even easier. Always remember the small meals, especially breakfast if you have it, and your afternoon snack, to focus on including protein there as well, to ensure you get its benefits. It's also very important for you to burn some of that accumulated energy. Adipose tissue is a tissue that contains a lot of energy, so let's use up that energy. And also add strength activities like weight training at least 3 times a week for about 30 minutes on average. The ideal routine for you should be determined with your trainer or physical education professional who will help you find the right amount of training, volume, and intensity for you. But this is a guideline for when you talk to them, because muscle tissue also helps increase glucose uptake by the muscles after exercise, which helps reduce issues related to insulin secretion and these hormonal fluctuations in our body. And in addition, it promotes the growth of lean mass, muscle mass, which also burns more energy at rest and will help you lose belly fat, even if you don't just do abdominal exercises. Some people think that to lose belly fat, you have to do ab exercises. No, even leg exercises, arm exercises will also help you lose belly fat. Another thing for you to do during these 30 days is to completely cut out alcoholic beverages. We know that alcohol will make you more bloated, and it usually contains a lot of carbohydrates. When we think about a sugary cocktail or a beer, there are a lot of carbohydrates in there that will increase insulin secretion, so that's bad for your belly as well. Alcohol also contributes to hormonal imbalances, makes you more bloated, more lethargic, you perform worse during physical activity, and it's a toxin, so cutting out alcohol will definitely help you. Try to manage your stress to reduce it in some way. A good tip is to include 5 minutes a day of some activity that helps you focus on yourself. It could be, for example, meditation, a breathing exercise. Of course, if you can have a hobby, dance to some music, or take a walk in an open, beautiful place to distract yourself, that will be even better for you. Studies have already proven that reducing stress lowers cortisol, which is precisely the hormone that breaks down muscle mass and accumulates fat, especially in the central abdominal region, so it will definitely help you. It's also important to get good sleep, at least 7 hours a night during these 30 days, and make sure it's quality sleep. Studies have already shown that people who sleep less than 5 hours a night are more likely to accumulate fat in this central visceral region than those who sleep better. Remember that I have a playlist here on the channel talking more about how to improve your sleep, the best foods, what to change in your bedroom, and your routine. I'll leave it down below in the description for you. During these 30 days, it is very important that you add probiotic foods to your diet. Probiotics are linked to improving gut health, which in turn can also help control visceral fat. So, it is very important to colonize your gut with good bacteria and beneficial yeasts. I have several homemade probiotic recipes here on the channel. I have recipes for yogurt, kefir, pickles, and sauerkraut as well. I'll leave them down below in the description so you can add them to your routine. Another great option is to add intermittent fasting during these 30 days because it can help you lose a lot of visceral fat and can significantly improve insulin resistance. The only detail regarding intermittent fasting is that you shouldn't do it if you have certain contraindications, such as being diabetic, having low blood pressure, or other health conditions. I have a video here on the channel specifically talking about who should not do fasting. Pregnant women, people who have had issues related to eating disorders, and children should not do fasting. But as a rule, if you are not in these groups, you can even start with a 12-hour fast, because from 12 hours onward, we already start to stimulate more lipolysis, and then you can choose whether or not to extend your fast to around 14 or 16 hours. I have many videos talking about fasting. I have a playlist dedicated to it, and I'll leave it here below in the description for you. Tell me down below then if you feel comfortable sharing why you want to lose belly fat, how much weight you want to lose, and what you've been doing to reach that goal. I'd absolutely love to see your comment right here. Remember to like the video because that helps me out, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it or who needs it. Let's work together to spread this positive movement because that's what I want here with the channel. See you next time. Bye.